Hello everyone, I'm head physiotherapist Ilhan and I'm here with my patient. He's from Taiwan and he did 2 limb lengthening surgeries. He did femur first and after that he did tibia surgery. He did different methods. He did LON with femur and he did Precice with tibia. I want to ask you some questions.
Sure.
I give them some information.
Okay.
So why you didn't do the lengthening at the same time like quadrilateral?
Oh, quadrilateral. I feel that that's probably too much on my body, and I wasn't. Yeah, I just feel more comfortable doing one segment at a time, and also I didn't know maybe one segment was enough for me. Maybe that's then I don't need to do the second surgery, so that's why.
Okay. Why you want to do limb lengthening surgery? How did you make decision?
Oh, I've always wanted to, since I was, I think, 14, 15, I stopped growing, right? And then, so I was already my original height at that age. And then I see all my friends, my classmates, everyone growing taller, but I stayed the same. So that was very, very hard on me, very traumatic. So I always have this thought that if there's any way I could grow taller, I would definitely take it. I would always pray, to the sky, to God, to whatever that could one day happen. And I thought this is just a dream, it could never happen. But wow, technology and medicine, I guess it's advanced so much. And now when I realized that, wow, there's this surgery, this cosmetic surgeries that can lengthen the limb and make you grow taller, and I was so excited, and then I just decided I have to get this.
What was your age?
I am 53 right now.
53.
Yes.
Why you wait until 53 for limb lengthening?
Yeah, so when I was my 20s or teenager 20s, I don't think the surgeries was very prevalent, at least not for stature lengthening, maybe for discrepancy. So there's no information about that. So even though I wanted to, but I didn't have access to the information. And plus, for cosmetic, it probably wasn't very mature. I'm not really sure. But then, over the years, there's a bit more information, and I guess starting the stature lengthening is becoming more popular and more safe and more mainstream. So then finally, I heard from the internet, from all these news that, oh wow, okay, this is actually it's possible and it's very safe, and then more and more people are doing it. So once I heard that, then I decided that yes, I gotta get this myself as well.
Great. And you did 7 on femur and 7 on tibia.
Yes.
Why did you do 7, both of them?
Oh, well, my original plan was to get 9 on the femur and then maybe 7 on the tibia. But like everyone else, we always come with a high goal, not realizing how difficult the surgery is. And of course, the safe limit is for femur is 8, right? And then for tibia is probably 6. Of course, there's outliers. People can get more, right, or less. Really depends on your age and your condition. For me, because of my age and of course my condition, so for my femur, I only got to 7, and I've had a bit of a problem, a little bit too tense, stretched the nerves, so I had to stop there, just to be safe. And so that was good, I was happy with that. And then after I got the 7 centimeters, I was pretty happy, I was already going out, and I feel that my height was already kind of enough. I kind of don't have dysmorphia of the height anymore. But I had some time, and I had the budget, and I was thinking, oh well, what would I want to go get a car, go on luxurious holidays, what would I want to do now with my new height? And the answer came to, I want to do another limb lengthening, get the second segment, right? So that's what I wanted most, right? And then so I did that. then for the second surgery, it was more smooth in terms of lengthening. So lengthening was smoother, and I took it slow, and I had the great help from the team, from you, and from everyone. It helped me got through, and we were able to reach all the way up to 7 centimeters for the tibias. So that was amazing, and so hence the result was 7 and 7, according to the X-rays.
Okay. How long you wait for tibia surgery after the femur?
So I waited about 5 weeks. So of course, I think in the beginning, doctors say maybe 2 weeks enough, but it depends on the situation. But 2 weeks wasn't enough, so we waited a bit more, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and by the 4th week, I was able to walk without crutches, walk like without aid for several, maybe 10 meters, and then I was able to swim. So the recovery was good, and so that's the thought came up. Say, oh well, maybe I could go for another segment.
Okay, great. And what is the difference between femur and tibia about recovery?
Okay, so for recovery-wise, it's really hard to say because I did it consecutively. So the first surgery, because I was fresh, right? I was 100%. So during the surgery, after the surgery, I was able to recover quite normally, all right? And I thought like after 3-4 weeks, I was able to walk. Everything was according to schedule. Even the lengthening, it took me about 2.5 months, which is normal. So the first surgery was pretty, like average, in terms of recovery. And for my age, it's probably pretty good. Then I did the second surgery, but because I only waited 1 month in between, so I don't think my body was back to 100% yet. And because of that, I did the second surgery. It took a lot longer, right? So it took like maybe twice as long. But that's to be expected, and the good thing, the pros with that is that, of course, I could have gone back and waited maybe 6 months or 1 year and then come back, right? But then I have that would be another 6 months, 1 year of kind of waiting. So I did it straight away, consecutively. So even though it took longer, but in like the whole scheme of thing, it actually saved me time. So the second surgery took a bit longer. Kind of everything is stabilized and the tibia is recovering as well. And we got the X-rays and everything looks good. Doctor told me today that the recovery, just needs a bit time, and so it should be no problem.
Okay, great. And you did 2 surgeries. And how about bone healing? What do you think about your bone healing?
So the bone healing wise, my bone healing is like it's decent. It's like I think the femur since the surgery now it's just over a year, and we just saw the X-ray today. It's probably 80% consolidated, so I was very happy with that. So that's not a problem. And for tibia, it's probably like 50%, and because that's the second surgery, so that's only been 6, maybe 7 months, 8 months. So that's also like it's according to schedule. So so the bone healing has been pretty good, and of course with all the physical therapy here and the bone healing machine that the center has. All these great devices, machines, really helps us recover.
Yeah. Also, on tibia, bone healing is slower than femur. That's the reason it's getting slowly. And yes, as you told, we are using bone healing device. It helps a lot. I can see on your X-rays. I'm so happy for you also.
Okay, yeah, no, thank you.
Okay, another question is, which lengthening was easy, with the key or with the device, Precice device?
Sure. I don't think there's a big difference, whether you do the turn 6 times, do the Precice in the machine, you gotta hold it there for about minute or so, 2 minutes. It's just as easy. The The only thing you gotta be careful is to forget. So you gotta set an alarm clock every 6 hours, every 8 hours, and it rings. Okay, it's time to do the turning. So it's just as easy.
Do you still have pain?
Okay, pain. It's funny. It's like now, at this moment, because I'm all done, right? A year later, 12 months, and now I look back. And I don't remember anything about pain. All I notice is I'm much taller, right? And today I had a photo with a doctor, and I'm taller than the doctor. Doctor is tall. When I came, doctor is like God, right? And now I'm taller than him. So this is an amazing feeling. Right now I just feel with joy and jubilant, and it's like it's just incredible and amazing. And pain, what pain? It's like it doesn't really, I don't remember, but I mean, to be honest, okay, if you ask about pain, let me kind of just go back and think. Yes, during the surgery, after the surgery, there was pain for sure. And then there was days you're like, because the muscles are tight, the knees are painful. And during the process, yes, it was painful, but I mean, it's nothing too crazy. It's just that it's such a long process. It's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, right? But then, like, again, now that I'm done, you look back, it's nothing. It's like now you think back, wow, I'm so glad I went through this. I suffer, a bit through these 2-3 months, but now I gain a lifetime of happiness, or I can say that all the suffering, and it wasn't even that bad,
It was bearable, right? Sometimes I am telling this to patients, you will forget all pain, and they're saying, no, I cannot forget, but you can see.
During the process, and it depends on people, because I was one of those people that's a bit more tougher, a bit stronger mentally. So I mean, if you're on the average stronger side, this surgery is not a problem, But I mean, there are people who are a bit more sensitive to pain, and then there are people. It's everyone feels different, Maybe it's just slightly a little pain, and they're like, why don't. But I mean, you see it all spectrums, like during physical therapy, the same session, right, from the same therapist to 2 different patients, exact same exercise, exact same strength and stretch. One patient would be, okay, that's cool, good, we went through it. But another patient will be screaming and crying.
Exactly.
But it's, again, but at the end of the day, it's all good. Like everyone survived, and then everyone reached their goal. Even though those that are screaming and crying, at the end, you ask them, how was it? They're like, oh, I mean, it was pain. I'm so glad I got through it. So everyone is happy in the end. The height that you gain, you cannot describe it. I mean, it's like what you get and what you put out, like kind of your investment to what you obtain. It's very, very. I mean, you would not regret it for sure.
Okay, and you did 7 centimeter on tibia. It's big goal. So how was your tightness? How was your Achilles? And have you get Ballerina syndrome?
Yeah. So because my goal for femur was 9, right? So I was short of that. And usually femur you can get around 8, maybe a bit more 9, 10. These people will get 10 or 11. So I was a little bit short on the femur side. So I wanted to try to make it up on the tibia. I mean, maybe not the best ideal, but that is my goal. And then so I communicated with the doctor, and they say, of course, we want to be safe. We kind of see how it goes. If we have to stop, we have to stop. But if your situation is good, you're doing all your exercising, you're stretching, then maybe, we'll see how it went. So for the tibia, because I had this, also I wanted to get the extra length. I did a lot of exercise. I put in a lot of work.
He was so hardworking.
hours and hours per day. I read on the research that the optimal hours per day of exercising from the patient, I think it's 6 hours, and I don't think most people cannot do that, but I try to get as close to that. And so I did put in a lot of works, maybe 3-4 hours a day, stretching. So because of that, and then on all the help from the team, for the tibia, I was able to first reach 4, 5, 6, and then finally got to 7. And that was amazing, because I remember in the beginning when I did the surgery, because it's tibia, the shin bone, so it's been more painful. So at the beginning, I was like, I remember, if you remember, I told you, it's like, oh, well, Lydia, maybe we'll just go to 3,
I remember.
right in the very beginning. And then you said, let's try for 5.
Yeah.
And then so I still remember that, and I go, wow, okay, I didn't think that was possible. But lo and behold, and after months of hard work and everyone's help here, we reached 5.
Yeah.
And then the condition was good, and then the doctor allowed it, and we went to 6. And then we reached 7, right, which is incredible. And then I got a bit too confident, I thought maybe I could go more.
I remember.
Yeah, but of course the doctor, he knows what's good, the best for us. So at that point, he come and he had a hard limit, and he said, no, even though you feel good, but to be absolutely safe, to have a full recovery, you must stop. Even though that time I wanted to keep going,
I remember,
but then doctor kind of, then in the end, of course I take the doctor's advice and we stop. And I think it's the best advice, and I think it's the right call, because now after the lengthening ends, now I'm in the recovery phase. It does, because of the extra length I gain, the recovery takes a bit longer, right? So I think had I gone even more, the recovery would be much more difficult. So the doctor made the right call to stop at a good time, kind of the maximum I could get, and I was very happy. So I'm more than happy to get 7 for my tibia, in a safe way, and now the recovery is going smoothly, and I'm ready to go home and then do the rest of the recovery back home.
Have you get before?
Yeah, so
during the lengthening?
The Ballerina, of course, the tibia surgery, Ballerina is the biggest concern. So I think that's the best part, I think, about the center here and everyone here, because you guys were so on point about making sure that we do everything we could to try to avoid that. So on the instruction you gave me, you have given me, and then, like I said, wearing the splints, it's very difficult, especially in the beginning. So it's like, of course, maybe sometimes we go, oh, yes, I wore it, but we didn't wear it, But you always know, so you always encourage us, and you always push us, and then eventually I got used to it, and that was very important. So I think all the protocols, because all the care, you're giving us, and then it helps us to prevent that quite a bit. And also all the physical therapy, the stretching, and the exercises, and all of that, I was able to prevent that. And then, of course, that's also a gauge, right? So it was pretty good. Even after 4, after 5, it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
But then it was like after 5 to 6, it was starting to get a bit more tense and tight, and then when we got to 7, it was about time to call it quit, right? And then that's when you of course you talk to the doctor, and then we made that call. So overall, the Ballerina wasn't a big issue for me, which I was very surprised, because usually you hear from everyone that's a problem, but for me, because we took a lot of precaution, and we did a lot of exercise and everything that kind of you have walked me through, we prevented that. So I'm very happy about that.
I'm so happy too.
Yeah.
Also. How about your walking?
Yeah, so walking wise, because it was the second surgery, so it was definitely a lot more difficult this time, because you got a combination of the tightness that caused by the femur, and then the tibia. So on the knees, on the joints, you got a double stretch, you know, if you will. So I mean, one is tough enough, but two, that's double, you know, the difficulties. So I remember, because I mean, not most people just do one segment. So I'm one of the few that done two segments. So comparing to the other people are walking kind of like I was with one segment, and then but with two segment, I was in a wheelchair in the beginning, right? So it was a bit difficult, but then, you know, slowly through physical therapy and then through all the exercises, and then slowly it starts to come back. And then so like towards the end, I was able to move from walker and then to crutches, and then start to walk. In the beginning, just a few steps, and then a little bit more, and also with all the devices that you guys have imported and you know, that given us to try, like the Alta G, like, you know, even hydrotherapy, and you know, all these machines and devices, it helped a lot. Even the gym was very nice. You know, there's a lot of machines update, new machines, the leg extensions and all that, or the cryotherapy. You know, the compression helps with the swelling. So I mean, I was very surprised because like I think we did a video, because I've taken videos of myself, right, through like the first time I was able to walk. And it was crazy. I was able to walk 4 steps, like really gingerly. And I was like, at the end, I was like, yes, you know. And then you know, after maybe a couple of weeks, then I was able to walk a little better. And then a month later, even better. And now I can walk backward, forward, sideways. You know, although I'm still limited, but it's just progress. You know, it's slow, but you know, slow and steady, and it just I feel that everything is going in the right directions. So I think that Alta G really played an important role, because before that, okay, we're on crutches, right? But that's not the same as walking, and plus then you rely on it. So you think without the crutches, there's impossible. Or I'm on the rail with assistance, so I must have the rail to hold on to it, you know, or the walker. And so with that, it makes the transition into normal walking much easier. And then so then, you know, as you saw in the videos, I was able to do the actual walking, and so that was great.
Yeah, exactly. And also it helps for your Achilles, your tightness, because we use incline during the walking, so it helps also for your Achilles, for your gastrosoleus muscle, calf muscle groups.
Yeah, or now that you mentioned it, yes, you know, because that's even better than normal walking on a flat surface, because of that incline, right? With the treadmill being able to do the incline. So while you're training, you train your the calf muscle by stretching it with the incline. You know, so that's such a wonderful you know, technology and exercise, and so vital for us, especially me. You know, I think that really helped. You know, in the beginning it was very tough. You know, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this, you know. But then, you know, you force yourself, and you guys have the kind of this regimen, this plan, very structured program. So what we go through, you know, there's no way I could have done this by myself. You know, it's impossible, right? It's like every day, you know, you have this, okay, certain time you do a certain amount of this Alta G, you know, and then sessions, you know, physical therapy, and then, you know, we got the bone healing. You know, it's very structured, and we have hydrotherapy, and then with, of course, you know, we need your encouragement, assistance, and it's hands-on, right? Like stretching by ourselves, and you guys helping us stretch, that's a whole different ballgame. You know, the intensity is night and day. Yeah. So I think there's no way. No, I think to do it on your own, it's very difficult. I mean, maybe there's some outliers that could do it, but I think overall, if you want a very smooth recovery, where you don't have to worry. You feel very safe. You're in good hands. I think coming to the center and going through the program here, it's tested. Everyone here I've seen, it's like everyone is successful. Everyone's path a little different. For some, it's been more difficult. For some, it's very easy. We've seen people who've done it so easy. And then there's people. Most people are in between. And I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. And because of my age, maybe a little bit towards the the back end. But still, I'm very satisfied and happy with the end result.
Yeah. I'm so happy for you, and I can see you're happy too because you're leaving soon. So what's your plan? What will you do first?
Well,
with your new height?
My new height, wow. So I think the last couple of weeks, the progress has been slowly but steadily kind of trending upward. Because if you go from day to day, it's very hard to gauge, right? Because the recovery is kind of like the stock market, right? It could be go up one day, it could be go down one day. One day you go, I can walk really well, but the next day you're like, what happened? But if you take it week by week or month by month, I could see definitely there's like a trend of recovery going upward. So I think we reached a stage where I'm comfortable with going back to do the rest of the recovery on my own. I check with the doctor, and then like my CRP, that tests the inflammation level is within the normal range. I think it was 3.6. So in the blood test, everything is good, and X-ray is fine. So I'm ready. I took my time, so I stay, a bit more. I took a bit more time. I stay after a bit longer. But I think everything was very, very kind of came up very successful with all the physical therapy.
Okay, enjoy your new height.
Okay, thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you for your trust and good words.
Yes. It was very enjoyable. This whole process. There was just pain, but then I think in the end it was all worth it. And then for I would say, because all the assistance you guys have given us, it made the process like as easy as it could be. I don't think there's anywhere else I could have felt more comfortable. So definitely, if I want to do the surgery, I'll have to come back here. Yeah.
Thank you. Greetings from Livelifetaller, and thank you for watching. See you.